faces. And I'm very, very happy to be here for another season of Supernatural. Who'd have thought? 6 years, right? Doing good. I had a very unique, a very cool opportunity to direct an episode this year. The powers to be were crazy and stupid enough to actually entrust me with one of their episodes. So I did my best, and I hope that you like what we've done. We're going to give you a little taste of it. We're going to show you the teaser of my episode. And it is an episode that is all about Bobby Singer. Which was the most difficult part of directing an episode, was having to work with Jim Beaver. Love you, Jim. Anyway, I could go on, so I will just, we can roll this. This is the teaser to, it will be episode 4 in the airing. We shot it first so that I could prep properly. But here we go, teaser to Weekend at Bobby's.
Thanks for the love. Like many of you, I've been a Supernatural fan since the beginning, and I've witnessed 5 great seasons, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, 3 comic book series, 2 awesome brothers, and 1 rather spectacular rendition of Eye of the Tiger. So how, in fact, do you top the end of the world? Let's find out from our panelists. Starting with executive producer and new day-to-day showrunner, Sera. Creator and executive producer, Kripke. Dean Winchester himself, Jensen. Sam, Padalecki. A true member of the Heavenly Host, Misha. The guy who plays the sage Bobby, Jim Beaver. But not least, executive producer and Scorpion Wrangler, Edlund. We all love Kripe. Eric, there's been a lot of talk about you stepping down, and after 5 seasons, after being the creative force for 5 seasons, I just wanted to find out what's up with, the rank and order now, and will you stay involved in some capacity?
Yeah, definitely. I won't even make like the Act 9 golf joke or whatever, but yeah, no, I'm still I think like I'm kind of the official loving, gentle pain in Sera and Bob's asses. I'm like delightful hemorrhoids. I'm like fuzzy hemorrhoids.
Last 5 seasons?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right, exactly. First of all, it felt like the right time. Like, there was a 5-year plan. There was a sense of how the show was going to end. When we were in the middle of season 5, and it looked like it would continue, and look, I want the show to continue forever. I mean, let it keep going. But my only point was... Yeah, sure. That's what it's like Gunsmoke. They're just like, but the only thing that I felt really strongly about was I said, look, the story has to end. Like, we can't stretch it because the audience will tell, and they'll know that it starts to get watered down or slow, and they deserve more respect than that. And so I said, let's just end it and then you know, the next season is going to be in many ways kind of like the sequel to a movie. And it'll be a new storyline, and obviously there'll be the threads and the issues that came before it, but it won't be weighted under by the same apocalyptic mythology. And anyway, so because we're doing that, that felt like the real right time, because, you know, after doing like 104 episodes, I just was sort of, I just didn't want the creativity of the show to suffer. And Sera and Bob, and they're both so invigorated and ambitious about the direction that the show can go in, and I think, frankly, there's such a shot in the arm to the show that that they're really taking it in a really exciting direction, and I'm just kind of like consigliere, like make sure it falls within tonal parameters.
We want to talk to you, Eric.
Sorry. When I was a child, Toledo, my mother told me. So, you know, basically just, I'm in the room for breaks, I'm helping with episode ideas, I'm just trying to help out. Mount Bob. Give oily back rubs. All right, I'll shut up. Jared, now I'm quiet. What would you like to say, Jared? What's the moment? What is it, Jared? What couldn't wait?
Nothing. Nothing at all. You lost me at consigliere. Sorry.
Sera, congrats on your new duties.
Thank you.
How excited are you for the season? And I keep hearing things about, you know, monsters appearing this season. I mean, were we talking Frankenstein, Mogwai, perhaps?
There could be Mogwai. There are more monsters this season than there have been lately. You know, we've done, the last couple of seasons has been a lot of apocalypse-related stuff. We got very epic, and we enjoyed getting very epic. We were excited that you kept watching, so we got to actually do the apocalypse. And then we were like, we really want to shoot some monsters in the face. So, we shot a lot. We're shooting a lot of monsters in the face, and for the first time, our mythology also loops monsters in. So they're integral to the story we're telling this season. So you're getting Monsters of the Week, and you're getting a little mythology.
Now, Jensen, I think you'd be a good fit for a Survivor tribute band, but you may be too busy directing for that. How was doing your first episode?
It was a lot different than I'm used to, as far as, you know, approaching a script. As an actor, I've been approaching these scripts for 5 years now, and really having to only make creative decisions on one character, one aspect of the script, and that's the character. So, as you know, when you're directing, you have to really kind of make creative decisions on every word of every page, and so to look at it in a completely different light was refreshing. It was kind of new and exciting, and I would never do it again. No, it was very cool and interesting. And the nice thing was that the guys in the writing room actually gave me a script that was very light, dean. So I actually got to show up 5 of the 8 days just as a director, and just try to convince Jim Beaver to hit the marks that I wanted him to hit. But it was which he never did. Actors, yeah, who knew? It was very cool, very cool. I was excited for the experience, and I'm anxious to see how it turns out.
Now, Jared,
I'd love to know too. Luckily, that's a question for Sera and Eric. I have no idea. And that's my answer. Practice. Practice, yeah. It's not his first time, I guess. I mean, I kept on kind of saying, like, that, you know, it'd be fun for Sam and Dean to die. Like, it'd be a fun way to do the show, like Butch Cassidy and Sundance. And I was like, wait a second, Sam and Dean have died. I've died a few times. We've been to hell, we've been to heaven, so must be practice. I think we probably have some people watching out for us. And that's my best guess, but I'm in the dark like y'all are.
and Misha, the apocalypse has been averted, so all good. What is Castiel's role now in, you know, as the focus shifts?
Everyone's like, yeah, Castiel should have a role. He hasn't up until now. Great idea. Writers? Mull that one over. That's food for thought. People like him. Just like him to have a purpose. Castiel, I think he's kind of on cleanup detail at this point in heaven. Still don't quite know. I'm looking down the table for that. Don't talk about that book, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. What little I know is that Sera, I think, put it very nicely. She said that that heaven was like post-Soviet Russia, just to make it boring. You know, the government has collapsed, the leadership is in disarray, there are nukes that are falling into the wrong hands, and this upsets Castiel, and he's trying to coalesce. He's trying to form sort of a coalition that's actually going to function up there. So, what does that make him? Yeltsin? An aspiring Yeltsin? And I think we talk about...
more about the show.
Yeah. And
He's selling it, Misha.
And we haven't talked about this yet, but I just want to pitch to you the idea of him actually having a Russian accent.
Probably need to hear a little bit just to...
No, I believe so. This is what you will hear, no question. Who are you?
Now, Jim, which is going to happen first? Is Bobby going to find a girlfriend, or is he going to get his soul back to Crowley?
The way this show works, hell will probably freeze over before Bobby gets a girlfriend.
This is supernatural. That's very possible.
Yeah. Well, as you saw from the teaser, who directed that? It was, Bobby and Crowley are going to have their confrontation, and whether I can pretty much assure you that the kissing days between Bobby and Crowley are over.
How can you assure that?
I can assure that because you need me to film them. Now, of course, you know, they could probably use the outtakes from last season. Phil shot that thing and shot that and shot it.
You kept on asking for another, so...
No, I was asking for another person to kiss.
And Ben, you're famous for your dark and twisted episodes. Is there something insanely creepy that we can look forward to?
Insanely creepy. I think I'm on the...
Or just insane?
Yeah, I think I'm working on the insane thing.
Yeah, tell them about it. Just a little.
I can tell about the... Okay. Alright, I'm working on something. We got one coming along. It's going to have some of the fairy in it. I think that's going to be cool. But that's not creepy. That's just fairy. But I do think that we're going to be walking a very careful tightrope, and I mean this in the most sincerity I can muster. We have to be very careful. Little people will be involved. And so everyone on pins and needles until we get our defamation suit out of the way. I'm looking forward to, I see a moment where perhaps the boys have to fight a tiny pinprick of light that ultimately is Tinkerbell. That's going to be awesome. I see a Jensen with a little light coming toward him, and he just says, "It's so beautiful." And I think yeah, you can clap your hands in this story, and believing won't help. It's just done. So there's rich in absurdity, I promise. 2 minutes.
And Sera, women don't seem to hang around very long on Supernatural. Will that change on your watch? And are there any plans for new or old female characters this season?
I've been here since episode 1. I'm female. We have a couple of female characters who have survived so far this season. And that's really all you can say for characters of either gender on this show. Yeah, I don't think we've had a character on this show who has lived, period. So, we have a couple of, there's a female character we're introducing who is a relative of Sam and Dean's, a Campbell. And Lisa Braden is returning. And there's a couple cheers. And those are the ones so far. But not to really delineate it by gender, we pretty much, you're kind of dead meat on Supernatural. It's kind of like if you're Austin, we bring you back from the dead a few times.
We're actually telling you that death doesn't exist. I think you should appreciate this as a public service announcement. Congratulations! Good news, everybody!
Is that Jerry Springer show? Just yelling crap out.
And for Sera and Eric, I've heard about the Japanese Supernatural anime project. Can you...
Yeah, it's actually not. Good news, everybody! They're not selling it here. So, I guess Warner Brothers or the powers that be or your congressman, and asked, they demand the Supernatural animation. All I know is that I can't believe it's just super, super cool, and that they're making episodes of the show that we don't have to work on, and I think that's the thing that we're most happy about. And it's because it's animated, it gets to have all sorts of crazy.
Shit with tentacles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we just want tentacles in it. And it's something we can't do on a live action show.
Major limitation on Supernatural.
Not enough tentacles. If you try to do live action tentacles, they suck, man. Totally shitty. And then these two guys are doing voices for a couple of the episodes.
This is going to be interesting because my Japanese is horrible.
Chips is good. And but that's so much screening, and we'll get wasted and watch it. But in terms of getting it released to the public, I think it's up to you guys to demand it. So.
And let's get metaphysical for a second. Was the prophet Chuck really God? Because if so, that means God attended a Supernatural fan convention, which is pretty cool.
I'll field that one. We're not going to give an answer. It's completely open to interpretation. We very, very intentionally did not want a character to come out at the end to say, and that's because I'm God. Because we thought you wanted it to be, it's douchey of it's like M. Night douchey of a level. Because people say to me but if Chuck was God, and we're not saying whether he was or not, then that means the writer was God, and isn't that the definition of M. Night douchey? And my response is, I'm like, yeah, but if he is God, this God's banging whores. So that kind of takes the curse off.
Is that how you take the curse off stuff?
Well, puts the curse on it. That puts the curse on it. But anyway, it's open for people to debate amongst themselves, and we have our own privately held beliefs.
Obviously.
So you're a big fan of M. Night?
I like his journalistic work.
And Jensen, now that you're a director, what's your best advice for directing Jensen Ackles?
Well, the nice thing is I don't have to convince me to do anything.
Be Jensen Ackles.
Or did I? And yes, I by no means consider myself a director. I was given a task and I did it to the best of my abilities. And who knows? But I got lucky because I got to work with, you know, Jim was carrying the weight of the show, and Jared was not on set. This is really the biggest bonus of being a director. About this.
Is there any plans for Jared, Misha, Jim, even Sera, maybe directing an episode at some point?
Don't do it.
No. For me, not so much.
I've noticed that directing requires a certain amount of work, which pretty much eliminates it from my list of things to do.
I'm always wearing a hat.
He shows on the top of his skull.
I want to say this about Jensen's directing. I wanted to give him a sense of what it was like to be a director on the first day. And I thought about staying in my trailer for 30 minutes, but it just went too far against my sense of ethics. I remember the very first setup, Jensen came in and said, "Okay, Jim, you're on the phone to whoever, and I think you should walk over here, start over here, come over to the desk, pick up the phone." And I said, "I know how to pick up a phone." What are you, Eric von Stroheim now? And,
Well, the writing boots and the writing crop were probably a day.
yeah. It was the megaphone that, but you do look good in a beret. Seriously speaking, I've been doing this for 312 years, and I've worked with a lot of really, really good directors, and I have never felt any more secure or well-guided as an actor than I have by Jensen acting.
Sentimental moment.
On for a Comic-Con panel.
You didn't buy that, did you?
So is there any chance Jeffrey Dean Morgan can be coached back for one? Or is there any other guest stars coming up this season that people want to know about?
As for Jeffrey Dean, have you seen that guy's potential? Oh my God, he's a movie star. We love him. We love the character. We want to work with him again. We're wide open. Of course we're wide. I mean, we're not stupid. But he's just a very busy man, and you know, if we could make it work, we would love to make it work.
Come back to us, Jeff. Come back to us.
Mitch
show needs a father
is
figure.
coming on the show.
I mean, who else is their father figure? Who else has that energy? I mean, nobody. Jeffrey.
So I believe
You were saying, she was making like a little thing.
Yeah. Mitch Padalecki. He's speaking of father figures. I mean, he's got a very patriarchal kind of vibe. Oh, don't worry. Could anyone ever replace Bobby Singer? Ever? So we did right through all that way. Don't worry. But yeah.
Yeah, and Jared, did you find it a challenge to play against yourself as Lucifer in the season finale?
I did, yeah. I know. I talked to Jensen about it because he had done it for another episode. But it's strange as an actor because you're so used to responding from what the character does. You know your motivations and your intentions, but like Jensen and I find a lot in scenes that we have our idea, but then playing it out, it changes, it adapts, and it builds into something that you never thought it would be. And so it's tough because I talked to him because there were options. I could either look into a mirror, or I could have another actor sitting there saying the lines, or I could just have a photo double to talk at, and somebody on camera would say the lines. And I ended up talking with Jensen because he had been in the same position, and I just chose to use a piece of tape, which sounds kind of bizarre, but I didn't want another actor giving their performance and it affecting my performance, because then it wouldn't wouldn't make sense when you saw the whole scene. I still haven't seen it. I'm a couple episodes behind. I got caught up. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'm a couple episodes behind.
Oh, thanks. It's really nice. I really appreciate your support and commitment into the show.
Someone told me how it ends, so
I watch Grammys, I don't know.
But it was very tough. It was fun.
So I think we might have some audience questions.
Jared and Jensen, gentlemen.
Hi.
My question for you is, your chemistry on screen as brothers rings so true. Is that great acting, or does that follow through
For
from
me,
your
it's
life?
great acting.
It's not that good of an actor.
No, I'm not.
No one can.
I don't know. I think it happened pretty quick. I mean, I think we were pretty great friends off the top, and so we just got comfortable. And obviously, it's not hurt with the writing. I mean, well, that was an understatement. The writing is a huge deal with it because what we're working with rings so true of like brotherly love and brotherly sort of quarrels and confrontations, and so we had such great material to work with, raw material, that it kind of just fell into place. And then, you know, we sort of, after doing it for 5.5 years, I hope it's decent.
Congratulations on the
Come on
season. Okay, so my question's for Eric. What I wanted to know is that I know you had this 5-year plan, but did you tweak or change anything a little bit, like in the finale, once you knew that the show was renewed, or is everything exactly the same you wrote it?
Parts of it, yes, I absolutely had to tweak some things. I think had it been a true series finale, without like elaborating further, there wouldn't be as many living. You guys are so sweet. Had it been the series finale, there probably wouldn't be as many living characters as there are, and so. Yeah. Well, I mean, not necessarily that, but you know, I had a vision of what really the end point is, and maybe you know, when the show does end, if we have that end point, you know, maybe you know, Sera and Bob and I'll get there. But we did wrap out the Lusifer Michael story ended exactly the way we had planned all season for it to end, and so I would say, you know, probably 80% of it, 70% of it is what I would have done anyway. It's just, you know, we added a few cliffhangers and massaged a few things so we could keep the story moving. Sure.
Ruby said that Sam never needed a demon blood compared to Dumbo's feather. Can you elaborate that?
Can you?
That's from, she's talking from, I think, Lucifer Rising, when Ruby, played by Jared's lovely wife, Jen. Said, you don't need the feather to fly, Dumbo, you've had it in you all along. And I think what we meant by that wasn't necessarily that, because I mean the demon blood for us is a kind of a battery. It is sort of a charge that allows him to do the things that he was able to do, and he needed it to be the Lucifer vessel, etc., etc. But it was more about the decisions that he made, and he, you know, she was talking about the way she was sort of pushing him towards darkness, and he was blaming her, and she was saying, you were self-righteous and angry, and you would have made those decisions that would have gotten you to this place, whether I was there or not. So it was more about an interior character thing for Sam rather than just simply like his blood is, you know, Popeye spinach or whatever.
He just wanted to call me Dumbo, I think. He wanted some excuse.
Who doesn't?
Has it surprised you that the audience of the show has been overwhelmingly female, considering that it was probably initially aimed at the adolescent male demographic?
It's shocking.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead, Sara.
I have always loved horror movies, and so have a lot of my friends, and a lot of them are female. And I think that a huge amount of the genre audience is female, so I think that there is maybe an answer you might be expecting about how we have a lot of very attractive men on the show. That's true. And I think that genre is very appealing to women. I think that there's a large segment of the audience is female, and that has always been female. And some of the hardest core sci-fi and fantasy viewers have always been women.
Hi. See, it's not that woman. She's still in my wardrobe.
I was wondering if you want to see the ghost faces again. I feel like we just did.
You know what? It's purely a question of the story being pitched in the right way at the right time. We love them. We love to bring them back. They're huge web superstars.
Yeah, did you guys watch the web series? Check out the web series. It's seriously great. Like,
Show it in Canada!
okay!
Don't you get the web in Canada?
In Canada, there's a thing called the intranet. It's on your computer. You turn it on. Use your wang. But yeah. But they're great. We want to have them back.
All our writers are over there.
I'm sure we'll figure it out one of those days.
Hi. My question is for the actors. Which episode was your favorite?
Jensen?
We've done 107 episodes. You want me to pick one? I'm gonna let somebody else take this.
Which episode was your favorite?
We agree.
Was I in there?
They were both. You know what? I think this is not one episode, but I love the premiere and the finale of each season because it's always starting something and wrapping something up. That's pretty brainless, but a chance to like leave cliffhangers and they always excite me because I always find myself kind of in the position of a fan, going like, "What's going to happen? Oh my gosh, I can't believe that just happened!" And then during the season, kind of stories progress and create and build. And then the end happens again. I'm like, what's going to happen now? How did that just happen?
You didn't even finish it!
I love all the finales and the premieres.
I love where you guys were chasing those like this monster kind of demon-y thing. It was just like, so good. And someone out there, probably you know the name of it, but
I remember a car.
the Apollo was there. It was a black car.
I hate the demon episodes. I hate all the sort of spiritual supernatural stuff. I think it's really taking away from the core of the show.
What's that supernatural in them? Just suck. So I like benders and that's it.
I like the funny ones. I like the Babylon, Yellow Fever. Changing channels.
Yeah, changing channels.
Those are, you know what? I really love monster movies. That was a lot of fun. So.
In other words, every episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question about Swansong. What was it like mentally and emotionally for you, Mr. Kripke, to have your story arc come to a close and then for all the rest of the procedure and then when you saw the final product, except for Jared, I guess?
sure he's gonna love it.
Have you seen any of them, Jerry?
He's still on season 1.
You know, I mean, for me, I put a lot of love into Swansong. It was really bittersweet for me. I really cared about it. It was a lot of the issues for me. It was a chance, which how rarely does a writer get this chance? And like every issue that I personally thought the show was about, to be able to wrap it up and to talk about it and to say to the audience, I mean, Chuck says it at the end, like, it's not about heaven or hell or angels or demons or destiny or any of that shit, it's about family. And to have it, to be that clear with what the episode is about and what the relationships were, and that Sam and Dean reached this particular point that was 5 years coming, and how it compared and contrasted to what Michael and Lucifer were going through. And so all the mythology came together, and it was this one thing, and I was so proud of it. And then, because I'll say, because as is well known, I read like the online stuff, and I was like so proud of it, and I was like, oh, it's what I wanted it to be, and it's my beautiful little bird. And then it aired, and then like I went online, and I'm like, all right, time to see how the people loved it. And I went online, and they're like, what a piece of shit. Screw Kripke, and like, I waited 5 years for that. F you, man. They're like, I'm wiping my ass for that episode right now. And I had this moment before I started laughing at myself and moved on with my life. I'm like, I'm so misunderstood. Because you know. Yeah, no, I clearly I'm fine with it. It's fine if that's what you think about it. Then that's fine. I'm totally okay with it. But anyway, but I love it, and it's, you know, and again, because it was never about the apocalypse or about scope. The show's never been about that. That's not the show at all. The show's about these two guys and their relationship. And to me, it was never about seeing the apocalypse. It was about stopping it, the emotional bond between the two of them. So anyway, that's my apology. Thank you, Sera. And everyone comes in and they're like, no, we liked it. My mom, who I think is watching online, she was like, it's good.
You're not a douchebag.
It was really good. Yeah. Jared loved it. Yeah, Jared totally loved it. Must see.
I'll be effusive with praise as soon as I watch it.
My question's for Jensen Ackles. How is your character going to progress, through the next season?
That would be more for you guys. I will tell you what I know, and then I will hand it over to Sera. In that we pick up a year later, and she tucks in her shirt. That's all it is. Really, that's all you got? That's the main difference. Dean's shirt is now tucked in. That's it. Exactly.
We're obviously trying too hard as writers. I guess we should just be like, he tucks in his shirt this year. What? Going back to the hot tub. See you.
We pick up a year later, and he's domesticated. He's living a somewhat normal life, and I think it'll be kind of how he gets pulled back into a situation, and then how he deals with, dealing with the past and who he really is and who he wants to be, and that whole inner struggle. And right? Am I anywhere in the ballpark here? Okay.
Is that
And my shirt's not dead. So there's that to look forward to.
Give them what they want.
It always comes down to that, doesn't it?
Jensen Ackles.
Hi.
Will you take off your shirt?
Or at least untuck it. Hi, yes.
Will you be kissing any more demons?
Only my own. I know my album. Kissing my own. I don't know, Sarah. Is Dean kissing any demons?
Not so far.
Oh, not so far.
He's kissing them. There's kissing.
Yeah.
It's time for one last question.
Hi.
Hello, my question is for both Jensen and Jared. My favorite monster of the week was definitely Paris Hilton. What was yours?
Jensen? Monster, it has to be Monster of the Week. Once again, there are 107. What do you think my favorite monster is? Amsterdam. Hansen? Madison. Oh, the Chris. Wait, what was that one? Too much love. Too much love.
Any idea?
I have no idea.
Well, some jumps. I really like Stashwick's character in Monster Movie. Good evening. Doesn't have God.
Yeah, I do love Who's the Shapeshifter?
Yeah.
I do love the Shapeshifters. I've always said that. I loved it ever since season 1 with when Dean got shapeshifted skin. Yeah. I think it's a really cool dynamic, so I like those.
I'm looking forward to killing some vampires properly this year. There's a lot of vampires going on these days. I'd like to just really show people how it's done properly. Cut this pasty, wafy shit out, and let's just get...
Just turned into a hate rally.
Hey, thank you so much for coming today, and thank you again to all of our panelists and to our great moderator, Brian Truitt. Hang on, there's more. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you to stop by the Warner Brothers booth if you haven't done so already to pick up a copy of the exclusive Warner Brothers themed TV Guide magazine Comic-Con issue. Also, in advance of the 6th season premiere, Warner Home Video will be releasing the complete 5th season on DVD and Blu-ray on September 7th. And to close our session today, we'd love to show you a bit of the gag reel that you'll find on the new DVD.